Hi. Okay, I called this YouTube channel Diffusing Hope because I wanted to spread hope about a number of subjects in our lives. And one of those things is finances. We have not always been financially successful, and many people would look at us right now, our lives right now, and probably think we're still not financially successful. But I feel like we are winning in finances because we have finally been able to take control of our finances. And that means winning to me. I am telling my money where to go. I am prepared for life's little emergencies and hiccups that come up. And I am just relying on good sound principles instead of just kind of winging it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And one thing I hear a lot with running a Young Living business and presenting the membership opportunity to people and the opportunity to buy a starter kit, money is a stopper for many people. And that totally used to be me. I would have looked at $160 and went, there is no way I can spend $160 on anything. I mean, it just would have been out of the realm of possibility. And I wouldn't have known how to make it happen no matter how much I knew those oils were going to help me. And I do believe that that's a problem for many people. And I just want to be able to give a little hope that you can make little changes that make a big difference over the long run, okay? Right now, we have a little bit of debt on a credit card, and by little bit I mean under $500. That from some of our trips this summer, just planning and things, so we have a little bit of debt on a credit card, which is very unusual for us. Otherwise, for probably the past 5 years, 6 years, we have been debt free, all except for our mortgage payment on our house that we're paying on. And that's a big deal because we never had a lot of debt, like the tens of thousands that people talked about or that you hear people say, but we had debt that made it hard to live the way that we should have been, I guess is the best way to say it. So I just want to give some hope. You can make some little changes that make a big difference and set you on a path to freedom from debt, okay? And I just want to talk real quick about the things we did. We went to a Crown Financial class that was from Larry Burkett. He has passed away now, and I know there are other people in charge of that ministry now, but we went to a Crown Financial class, I don't know, many years ago. And we learned some good solid principles and some good ideas and things, but we struggled with how to apply it. So that was probably our foundation. We learned a biblical idea on money, we memorized verses, we learned how to do a budget, we learned how to set up finances and things, but for some reason it didn't really click. And so we didn't really apply it and use it right away. And I don't know, it's been so many years now I wouldn't be able to tell you why. But there came a time when I found Dave Ramsey's book in the library called Total Money Makeover. And that book just seemed to have more how to on it for us. Some basic steps to use and some ways to get out of debt, to control our money, and to use it better. And so I brought it home and I actually read it out loud in the car as we were going to like baseball games or basketball games with our kids. I mean, our kids were younger, so I just remember I read it in the car to my husband so that we could get on the same page, and we started to apply those principles. And I can't remember, kind of all the sequence of how it went, but eventually we went to a Financial Peace University class here in our hometown, and I can't tell you now how many weeks the class even is. I should have looked it up. But we went to a class together, and that really gave us the how to parts that we were missing. And we started to apply the homework. You have homework, and we started to apply the homework. We did our debt snowball, which wasn't much, so it didn't take very long. And I think the biggest thing for me was getting a practical budget set up that I could live with. We definitely use the cash envelope system. I live and die by it. I love it. It tells me exactly how much money I have, and when the money in the envelope's gone, we're done. I'm not trying to keep track of anything. Just every 2 weeks when we get paid, I sit down, I figure out how much money goes into each envelope. And, I have to kind of look ahead. Like, do we need more in this envelope this month or do we need less? Can we put it in somewhere else? Can we put more in savings? Um, I sit down and do that every 2 weeks, and you kind of get a pattern. Like, you just know we need this much for gas money every 2 weeks. We need this much for groceries every 2 weeks. We need this much for miscellaneous every 2 weeks. And sometimes things get a greater priority. Like right now, we really would like to buy a different car. The engine light came on mine again today, and we don't think it's a big issue. We've had it looked at, but it really bothers me to be driving down the interstate with my engine light on. So it would be nice to get a newer vehicle, and this one's starting to nickel and dime us. Like, we've put a new latch on, we've put a new motor in the window, things like that. So we are right now shoveling more money that way because we just finished with vision therapy for my son. And that vision therapy was taking hundreds of dollars a month. But we were able to shuffle our budget and pay for it with no problem. And now that that's done, we are able to reshuffle that money and look at some other priorities. So that's really the beauty of the budget. I love it, love it, love it. I love that I have money set aside that accumulates for doctor bills. It accumulates like contacts. Contacts used to throw us into such a whirl because, it's a big chunk of money all at once. Well, now and I have 4 guys in my house or used to have 4 guys in my house who all had contacts, and then I had my yearly glass prescription. And now I just know this is coming up in the spring because that's when everybody's eye checkups are. And so I save all year long, and it's not a big deal. I just pay for it, and it's done. And, Christmas presents. We save all year long for Christmas presents. Actually, we just have a gift envelope that we put money in every 2 weeks, and then the money is there for birthday gifts, the money is there for Christmas gifts, the money is there for wedding presents that come up, graduation gifts. Do you ever know how many graduation announcements you're going to get? No. But guess what? I have the money in there to cover it, and it's not a big deal anymore. I used to stress about that so bad. So I want to give you hope that there is a way to do this. And there is a way that you control the money. Dave Ramsey says you tell your money where to go instead of, just the things controlling you. And I love it. Dave Ramsey has a 7-step process that you work through. We are never there. I think we're still like trying to achieve step 3. Which is to have a fully funded emergency account. Every time that we get close, something happens and we almost have to completely start over again. But guess what? The money was there for whatever happens. And so just the fact that we're working on an emergency account has saved us so many times. So, okay. You can tell I get really excited about this. I am probably more excited about this than I am about oils, and I probably talk about this less, and I should talk about it more. But okay, I want to recommend get the Total Money Makeover book, read it. Get it from your library. If you don't have the money to spend on it, go to your library and check it out. If they don't have it, ask them about interlibrary loan or borrowing the book from another library that does. If that's not an option for you, look and ask them if they have an ebook service at your library that you could read it on ebook. Our library's ebook service is called Overdrive. It is free for all library card holders, and read it that way. But get your hands on it and read it. It's great. And if you can, listen to Dave Ramsey's podcasts. Listen to his YouTube videos. I mean, Dave Ramsey is everywhere. He is not hard to find, and he is not hard to listen to. Listen to his radio program. I think you can do it on the internet. Absolutely just get all that good financial information that he gives in your head and listen to it and apply it. That's the important part. You can't just listen. You have to apply it, okay? All right, and then get yourself to an FPU class, which is Financial Peace University. Having peace in your finances gives you peace in so many other ways. I just can't stress that enough. Also, Ramsey Solutions is a whole, I don't know what you want to say, like conglomerate of people who give really great advice and they have great things. One of the podcasts that I'm listening to right now that I love is Chris Brown's Life, Money, Hope. Doesn't that work nicely with our Diffusing the Hope? But Life, Money, Hope podcast. That's kind of what prompted me to do this. I was listening to it today, and he gives money advice. He does a little devotional type thing or a ministry thing. He has people on there who are really great about different aspects of life. Today it was the one I listened to was all about balance in your life and how it's a myth, but what you can do for time management and things like that. It was just really good. So I recommend even just checking out any of the Ramsey Solutions podcasts or things that are available out there. On another note, something else, if you're like, I don't really like Dave Ramsey for whatever reason, maybe he just doesn't float your boat, I recommend following Ula Life on Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media outlets. They're everywhere too. It is Ula, OOLA, Ula Life, and you can find their books. I have one right here. Hold on. This is their book, Ula, Find Balance in an Unbalanced World for Women, and I also have the green one, which is their first one. And but these guys have great principles in here. There's really good things, really easy read, little sections to read. You can take notes. But it's Dr. Troy Amdahl and Dave Brown. I hear you guys say your names all the time. I should be able to pronounce them because I follow your lives. But anyway, Dr. Troy, let me put their names up there for you. He is the Ula Guru, and Dave is the Ulu Seeker, and they'll tell you the whole story of how their little Ula Seeker and Ula Guru came to be. But Dr. Troy on Ula on Facebook does a Monday Money Minute or something like that. And I highly recommend those videos because pretty much everything he says is what Dave Ramsey is saying, but maybe you'll like it better coming from him. But I like it because it shows you that there's really, good, solid ways to do this. And more than one person has tried it, and it's working, and it's a great thing. And so I just want to recommend those videos also and they're short. They're like 20 minutes or less. Okay, so those were just some hints and tips that I wanted to give you about finding hope in your finances. Finances do not have to be this huge rock that you carry around on your shoulders. You can have freedom, you can tell your money where to go, and you can have a big smile on your face when you talk about money. And so check out these resources. I'll maybe include some links here in the description of the video so you can find some of these things. But don't waste another minute being buried under a burden of debt. You can be free and you can have hope.